How many times have you heard someone saying today, I feel this way, I feel that way, I feel some other ways? You see this badge across my chest, it said doomed. I believe this is the exact situation of anyone who decides to live their lives based on their feelings. Anyone who lives by how they feel and make decisions based on how they feel can as well just put a badge across their lives that says doomed. That's not to say that feelings are totally bad. Feelings can help us realize when things are not right and needs to be fixed. But we can't afford to live our life based on our feelings. We need to go deeper. In Luke chapter 5, the Bible tells us about Peter and some other disciples, how they went fishing, how they fished throughout the night and they caught nothing. And at daybreak, they were washing their nets, preparing to go home, probably tired and disappointed. And all of a sudden, Jesus appeared on the scene and he said, "No, guys, don't go yet. Launch out into the deep." Now, let's understand that these guys had been working all night. They hadn't slept. They were tired. They were worn out. They were sleepy. But Peter knew better than to act based on how he felt. He didn't let his feelings vote. The disciples refused to let their feelings vote. They knew Jesus. They knew what Jesus was capable of doing. They had been with him. So even though Peter didn't feel like doing what Jesus was asking him to do, he didn't let his feelings vote. He undermined his feelings and he went ahead to do what he knew was the right thing to do. Now, let's look at this. I believe when Jesus asked the disciples to launch out into the deep, he was saying to them, say, look guys, deep is where the blessing is. Go down into the deep. The disciples probably had been fishing on shallow waters all night. And then Jesus was telling them, no, you can't get the blessing on shallow waters. You have to go down into the deep. I believe many of us live our lives on shallow waters. We take decisions based on how we feel rather than what we know. How we feel is shallow waters. What we know is the deep. And today it's time for us to go deeper because deep is where the blessing is. How you feel is shallow waters. Always remember that. Jesus said, go down into the deep. Peter, forget about how you feel right now. Go down into the deep because deep is where the blessing is. Do what you know to do and not how you feel. Instead of asking yourself, how do I feel? Ask yourself, what do I know? Oh, I feel like drinking alcohol, or I feel like drinking another bottle of Coke. But what do you know? You know that Coke contains a lot of sugar. You took one yesterday or probably the day before, and you shouldn't be drinking another one today. Oh, I feel like dating that girl. I like that girl and I would like to date her. But what do you know? Is she good for you? Is she going to be a hindrance to your walk with God? Is it going to lead you into sin? If you are married, is that going to disrupt your relationship with God and your wife and even your children? What do you know? Oh, I feel like slapping this person right now. But what do you know? You know that that wouldn't be a good idea. You're going to regret doing that. And that's going to have repercussions. So instead of acting based on how you feel, you ask yourself, what do I know? I don't feel like getting up from bed this morning, but what do you know? You know you have to get up and go to work, or else you will be late for work and you'll probably be queried. If we must live a blessed life, if we must fulfill the vision or the purpose that God has called us to fulfill, if we must be all that God has called us to be, we must live above our feelings and live by what we know. God bless you and have a blessed week.